So thank you, Catherine. And I have to say congratulations also to the organizers of this conference. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to come and speak to you today. But I have to note your prescience. I mean, the topic could not be more timely. It's dominated the headlines not only across Europe in the course of the last 2 weeks, but also in the United States today, where we have huge new breaking news in the form of a major appellate court decision which has declared the NSA's metadata trawling operations to be illegal. So a very, very important development on that front. So I think Europe as a whole, just like the United States, is focused on two competing issues. So one is the state's need to engage in surveillance and intelligence gathering to protect the citizenry. The other is the citizenry's rights to privacy. And I think there's no place where this debate is presented more sharply than right here in Berlin, where the NSA scandal is now percolating in its second year. As parliamentary probes reveal, I think to no one's genuine surprise, that the process of surveillance has spilled out of legal and policy boundaries. And the political discourse we hear is increasingly sharp. The Bundesnachrichtendienst, we hear, has betrayed its constitutional duties. It's been collaborating with the Americans in a sweeping exercise that looks increasingly like industrial espionage, targeting European competitors of U.S. defense contractors. The BND, the NSA, are said to have conspired to read the emails and record the telephone conversations of ordinary citizens and political leaders without satisfying clear legal predicates for this surveillance. The American intelligence community is said to have enlisted spies to find out just how much the German government has learned about its legally dubious projects that are being carried out on German soil. But the pushback that comes from Washington in response to this takes many forms, and most of them are, when studied carefully, almost as disturbing as the allegations. The classic response is the non-denial denial.
So Scott asked about midway through his talk, is there a relationship between privacy and democracy? And I thought I would take a cue from that question for a short and somewhat sketchy and maybe over-theoretical attempt to respond, based mostly on his book, which I encourage you to read. These days, we tend to think about our privacy mostly when it's being violated, or as we apparently willingly give it up, as we are spied on, watched, read, followed, tracked, intruded upon, and interfered with. Democracy ought to protect us from these invasions. But if privacy is only explored when it's under attack, the defense may come too late. So what about an affirmative concept? To get to it, a slight detour is required. I'll propose what I want a bit polemically to call a forensic notion of democracy. Before this worries you too much, you can consider it a paraphrase of Scott's notion, which he really unpacks in the book, of knowledge-based democracy, but with a bit more emphasis on the instability of the knowledge. We share a notion of democracy as discussion, and hence as commitment to publicity. Democracy, formally at least, is not just the rule of the people, but the participation of the people without regard to prior qualification or status in that rule and in the construction of a political life together. Together, citizens make decisions in a debate that is based on argument and evidence. Indeed, on the presentation of public claims and objections in an open forum, where things to which all have access and can make a claim about are exhibited for all to see.